If it looks like I'm the last person on YouTube to actually plant their garlic, it's because I probably am. But I'm not just going to be planting any old garlic. I'm going to be planting a few different varieties. I'm going to be showing you a bit of an experiment that Mike and I have done. And then I'm going to plant something slightly, I would say slightly different than the way you've seen it done before. And well, we'll just have to wait and see the results. But first things first, I'm just going to tickle this bed over with my hoe, and then I'll take you to the greenhouse and show you what we've got. Just walked into the table. Right, let's show you what I've got. Right then, let's just show you what I'm actually going to be planting this year, because for once I've actually got myself quite a nice variety. I have got 2 bulbs of Germador, which, you know what, you see these everywhere. They're really, really common because they're usually really, really successful bulbs. $3.99 for 2 bulbs, which I think is quite good. And these are known as softneck varieties. And when I say softneck, I just mean that they're okay in our climate, but they won't put up with weather that is too cold. But they will last for a lot longer than the hardneck varieties that we'll come to in a minute. The next variety is called Messidor. That's actually come up. Again, $3.99 for what looks like 2.5 bulbs. What I don't want to do here is get them mixed up, because you know what I'm like. And these are hardneck bulbs. And when I say hardneck, these will stand a much colder winter, but again, they're absolutely fine in our climate, but they will not store for quite as long as the softneck varieties. So I've got that one. What did I say that was called? Messidor. So they are my standard garden centre bulbs. I have then got another hardneck variety, and well, we shall wait and see what this turns out like. This is actually called Russian red, and I think it was down as a giant garlic, and there's something like, I don't know, 40-50 cloves in there. They were $9.99. They came from an online retailer, so it's always a bit of a gamble. I mean, some of those have started shooting already, which is my fault because I just didn't put them in as soon as they arrived. But you can see you've got a variety of different sizes there. I'll go into that in a minute. We have then got, oh Jane, don't get them mixed up. So I've got 2 hardnecks, 1 softneck, and then what I thought was fun is this is our supermarket variety of garlic, and this was literally, if you know, that's fine, but some people think that you can just put anything in out of the supermarket and it will grow. What they don't know is that some supermarkets or some suppliers will actually burn the roots or spray the bulb so that it won't go to seed, just so it lasts for longer. So the way to test whether your garlic will actually work, it's a problem, is to put it in some water and see if it will root. And I don't know if you can tell if I bring that up there. I'm hoping that you can see, look, it's all tingle-tangled in roots there, and it's started to shoot. You can see by the colour of the shoots, it really needs some nourishment. But what I hadn't thought of was the fact that it might actually swell. Oh, I've got it out now, so I wouldn't be able to get it out of the glass, but look at that. Look at those roots. I mean, they are brilliant. Right, that is my supermarket variety. We're going to see how well they do. I'll pop that back in there. And then, of course, we've got the good old favourite, the garlic that's not actually a garlic, it's related to the leek. And that is our elephant. Oh, the smell of these is just fantastic. And that is our elephant garlic. So I'm going to leave those in there. And I just want to show you, it's just a basic tip really for when you're sorting your garlic out, in order to make sure that you have got the best possible results come spring. Oh, look at me, I'm a changed woman here. I've got everything ready. I've got my little pots I'm going to put the garlic in, and a label. That's for the Russian red, that's for the supermarket, that is for the Messidor. That is, I mean, the other thing is, though, it's got a different thing on the other side, which I haven't scrubbed out, but we'll know which one it is. And I've got the Germador. Right, okay, I have got my pots to put my cloves in there. First one's first, let's do the supermarket. I'm just interested to see. Now, look, you see, that one looks like it might. Is that starting to rot? I'm not sure about that one. Maybe not. I mean, it's got absolutely loads of cloves on. Look at all that. So what I'm going to do, though, and this is your tip, is basically make sure that you sort out where the supermarket, there we go, you're sorting out the biggest cloves to plant, because the bigger the clove that you put in, wow, I wonder if they've been this good, if they've been in the ground all this time. The bigger the clove you put in, see, that one's tiny. I mean, you can still put it in, but the bigger the bulb you'll get at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ignore these diddy ones. I'm not going to ignore them. I'll tell you what I'm going to do later. But yeah, these ones are all beautifully viable. The only issue is, because they have shot up so beautifully already, we're going to have to make sure that if we do get a sudden frost, that they're not going to get too knocked back. I mean, you know, I say this all the time, they're so hardy. It's very, very unlikely that they can get knocked back. But yeah, I don't like the look of that one. That one's going away. Right, okay. Same with the Germador. Let's just see, it doesn't matter if it gets a bit wet, but there we go. For example, if you have got, always try and make sure when you're splitting up the bulbs that you have base plate. The base plate is literally where the roots come out. When you're splitting up the bulbs, if you've got a lot and you haven't got enough room, you can see that's a middly, but that one is much bigger than that one. I mean, they will both come, but yeah, the bigger ones will give you better, but I've got quite a lot of these, so I'm okay. I'm okay. And then we do exactly the same with the Russian red, but what I'm going to do with these is half of these are going to go to Mike, so I'm just going to take, how many? 10? 1, 2. Take my dibs, I'm going to take the 10 best ones, but I'm sure Mike will do very well with what he's got left anyway. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same. Look at this elephant garlic. Mind you, this is everything we've got. I've literally taken this out of the pantry at home to come and plant. But look, I've said before, that looks like it might be 2. But it's only got 1 base plate, so I'm going to have that one. That's a good planter. And I think I want to have 12 to plant. So let's put them in here. I'll just take them out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, these are lovely. Look at that. 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not going to have any left to take home. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. 2 more, Jane, 2 more. 11, 12. Okay, 12 lovely elephant garlic to plant. They are going to go home, otherwise we'll have nothing to eat. These are going to go to Mike, and then I just want to, when I've planted these up, I want to see what I've got left over, because I'm just going to do a slight experiment, which might seem a bit mad, but anything's worth a try. Right, come on, let's get back to the bed. As I've set my tripod up there, I've noticed there's the remains of a firework on the ground. Let's have a look. So Mars attack, a big Mars attack. Okay, so probably a big firework. And then, I'll show you, I'll take you around. I thought maybe it's landed because we have got a playing field next to us, but if we look over here, somebody has actually put some sticks in the ground here. That could be where the Mars attack came from. And there's another one here, look, I mean, as far as I know, I didn't think you could actually buy them anymore. But, excuse me. But what is really worrying about that, one, we've got the chickens, and, you know, I would hope, I mean, obviously, you know, they're out here in all weathers and everything, but anything like that could really, really terrify them. I know it sounds daft, but how have they actually got in the plot? Because we have a lock on the gate. There's trees and hedges all around, so somebody's been pretty determined to get in here and set off fireworks. And yeah, I'm really a little bit upset about that. What would you do? Yeah, it's a little bit of a worry, that, because you feel like everything's secure, especially when you've got, you know, little creatures on the plot. Speaking of little creatures, you've come to join me again, aren't you, Junior? Are you coming over? Should probably pull up all the garlic. Right, okay. What I'm going to do, what shall I do first? I will take a look at the messidor, and I'm literally, what you want to be doing, depending on the size of the clove, really, you want to be putting them about yay far apart. Okay, and yay far apart again. So yeah, what's that? About 4 inches one way, slightly more the other way. Basically, you just don't want to cram them all in so they haven't got room to spread. So I'm going to hopefully get 12 in this little patch here. If I move back a bit. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, that missed my knees. I'm going to put that in. Usually they say like 2 or 3 times its depth, but if you get it in about 3 or 4 inches, you don't want to have it so deep that it gets lost. But by the same token, you don't want to have it too shallow, because what will happen then when the ground gets frosted, it'll do something called heave. So your frost will come over and it can lift the garlic cloves slightly, and you do not want this delicate little tip that I'm shoving in really to come to the surface too soon. This is why a hurry knife's great, because you can just slide it down, yeah, and get got by the frost. So this is as quick as it is. 1, 2, 3, and this is what I will do with all the garlic, whether it is softneck, whether it is hardneck, whether it is elephant, or whether it is supermarket. Right, I realise it's not so much the weather, it's the dark that I'm fighting against now, because it is getting quite dark. It's only about, can you see me? It's only about 3:30, if that. I don't think the schools are out yet, but okay, I've got my messidor, my Germador, and my Russian red in 3 beds along there. But what I want to do here, this is where I want to put, this is going to be my little experimental area. So I'm going to have my supermarket garlic in here, which, yeah, should do well. And then this last row, I'll show you the label in a minute. But if I get the supermarket garlic in, it's probably going to be a little bit more tricky, because there's more to cover. So just going to make sure that these roots get seated in nicely, and also that a lot of this stalk is covered. So really I want to have that stalk, can you see, covered up to about there if I can, again, which is the beauty of the hurry, because I can just pop that in, make like a slit, and pop that in like that. There we go. I know a lot of people who've planted their garlic recently have already got shoots like this coming up. So yeah, what I would say would be though, if it's going to be really, really cold and they've grown really, really big, consider maybe, I don't know, just throw a bit of something over the top of them to protect them a bit from frost. I'm just going to give these a good press in to settle the soil around them. You see, I've lost my middle one there. Oh no, have I lost the end one there? Well, there you go. Let's just make sure they're in anyway. I think I've maybe put 3 together. Right, okay, and then I've got this little bit at the end. I'm just going to have a little bit of fun with it. Okay, here I go. And this is where, oh, there we go. I am going to do something quite literally with a twist. So as I'm going, look at this, covered in mud. As I am going down here, I am wondering if you can actually see. It's the same soil as all the others. I'm going to the same depth as all the others. What is that? Oh, I don't know. But I am doing something ever so slightly differently as I put the garlic in. Now, I realise I did that probably too far away from the camera and you wouldn't have been able to see anything. So, if I show you again, here we go. Did you notice that one? Did you? As I say, it's literally with the twist, because I'm going to, oh, this is beautiful. All this dead lavender here is just gorgeous. I know it should be cut back, but it's gorgeous. If I show you the label, you can see what I'm doing, because these are all going to be, can you see that? Upside down. Okay, now it has been done before, but not by me. And again, as I was saying before, we spend so long worrying about, oh, are we doing it right? Are we doing it correctly? There is the, I'm saying a theory, but there is the belief that nature will always find a way. So I want to know that if I put the roots at the top and the pointy bit at the bottom, will this find a way round? I think it will. I've done it with bulbs accidentally before. You see people just pour bulbs in willy-nilly in a hole and they come up. So I'm just going to see if we really have to be quite so precious with our garlic, or if it will stand just a little bit of a challenge. So let me know in the comments below if you've tried that before. Let me know how you got on with it. But also, I'd like to know if you think it's going to work or not, because yeah, I mean, it's 4 cloves, you know, it's fine. I haven't lost anything. It's right at the edge. It's not taking up too much space. But yeah, that's it. That is how quick it is to do. All I've got to do now is find a home for my elephant garlic. And because it is getting a bit dark, I'm not sure if I'm going to get that done tonight, but I'll just see if I can identify a nice little space for it. And if you're wondering what I'm going to do with all the bits and pieces of garlic that I had left over, remember I said I had all the tiny bits. Let's take this out of here. Hopefully there's nothing in here. I think it's just spent compost. But I'm not going to do anything too fancy with these. I'm just going to shove them in. Again, fairly deep. Doesn't matter about spacing. You'll see why in a minute. I'm saying make sure they're the right way up, but I clearly haven't on the upside down ones. But once you put those in here, you won't be expecting the nice big bulbs, but what you can expect in the spring are some of those lovely, lovely garlicky sprouts that we've just seen on the supermarket garlic, and you can treat them as green garlic and harvest them rather than waiting for the bulb itself to come up. So obviously, if you want to grow bulbs as well, prioritise that. But these little tiny bits that really won't grow too much, get them in. Now this, I have done this before, but I was reminded of this by Danny from Grow Up, and he brought up the tip on, again, potty mouth on Monday. So if you're new to potty mouth or you don't know what it is, take a little look at the Potty Mouth Gardening Club on Monday evenings at 7 o'clock, where I join Tony C. Smith Danny from Grow Up and Audrey from Real Food Comes Dirty. And although it's filmed earlier on in the day, there's always a really healthy chat, and a few of us are always there to answer your questions. So yeah, if you haven't done already, do it there. And thanks, Danny, for the reminder. I was really hoping that one of these beds would just miraculously be free, so I could just give it a little tickle over like I did with the bed down there, and I could put my elephant garlic in, but it's not. In fact, this one soon will be, because these are the Jerusalem artichokes that Claire from the Farmyard Garden passed on, and yeah, clearly they've died back now, so I'm hoping that very shortly they'll be ready to dig up some. I know they have a reputation, but I'm quite looking forward to seeing what comes out of there. So I think I'm going to earmark that bed for the elephant garlic, because the alternatives are I just shove it in a pot or just somewhere I haven't really thought about, and these are so precious. Just financially, I just love my elephant garlic, so I want them to have the best possible chance of doing well. So when the artichokes come up, I will give this a really good layer of chicken bedding with, obviously not fresh, but well rotted chicken bedding, which is like what's it called, miscanthus leaves, dried miscanthus leaf, and chicken poo. And so that would be a nice little layer to keep them safe over winter. But while I'm here, the ocker. I've never grown ocker before. It is just the leaves. I'd heard they were beautiful, but they are just fantastic, and they start so small, but they are really healthy plants. But the other thing, I don't know if you can pick it up from there, I'll bring the camera over, is the mashua. And again, this bed, I had the rat-tail radish from Adie's Veg Garden in here. I had the ocker and the mashua from Claire again. I'll put all the links down below. And look at this, and I remember when I planted this, sorry, I know I'm going off garlic here. When I planted this, someone said you'll need to put a big structure in for it to climb, and I thought, yeah, it'll be all right. But actually, yeah, it's spreading right across the bed, which is absolutely fine. I'm not going to pull that in case it breaks, but the flowers, they are, can you see that in this light? They are beautiful. They're like little flames. So very much looking forward to seeing what's under there. But yeah, I am going to wait for that one. So this will not be going in today, but when I do plant it, I'll let you know. And yeah, it basically goes in exactly the same as all the others, but give it a little snuggle. Let me know about your garlic. Have you put it in? Do you like it? Do you not? Do you think the upside down garlic stands any chance whatsoever? Because to be honest, I always root for the underdog. Wouldn't it just be great if that came up and it was the best garlic ever, and you know, it was a brand new way of doing it? Probably won't, but we can only Junior's got out again. We can only hope. Okay, like, comment, subscribe if you want to. Give us a hype, don't know what it means, but do what you will. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.